Gab Marcotti is with us and he's shaking his head. Gab, what's happened? What are you angry at?
No, look, I think this is exactly what you want from Jogi Löw. Forget the result a minute. Yes, they're on the verge of relegation, but again, they're away from home against the world champions. But look at the fact that he revolutionized the system. I don't know when they've played three at the back. He doesn't have strikers, so he invented one in Serge Gnabry, who at least did a lot of hard running. I thought Nico Schulz, who we hadn't seen much of before in a Germany shirt, was exceptional down the wing, gave Pavard fits. And then in the end, the equalizer comes on a pretty goofy, let's face it, header. So I thought the reaction was there. Most importantly, he sent a message. No more Thomas Muller, no more Jerome Boateng. You don't get into the team based on reputation. You get on the team based on performance. And those veterans that did play and did stay out there, like Toni Kroos and Mats Hummels, neither of whom was exceptional against Holland, I thought they responded too. So I think this is a bold step. He did it, and they pulled it off. And I think it would be absurd to sack him at this stage. I think this is a way forward.
Well, that's a positive spin on a manager who is clearly under pressure and of a country who are heading in the wrong direction in terms of results. And you mentioned it yourself, Gab, they're struggling to find a front man. He doesn't know what his best system is, if we're bothering talking about systems. Personnel issues, he doesn't know what his best team is at the moment. Now, you may say, or some may take the view, this is the Nations League, I can use this to look at other players. And then you may have some, like the German media and the pundits back there and the German FA saying, well, actually, no, he's trying to find the pieces of the jigsaw to fit the puzzle because he doesn't know what the end of it looks like. And so I think there's a lot of confusion there. I think he's been reactive rather than proactive. Yeah, no?
Well, what more proactivity do you want? They had a bad result. He changed the whole team. He played a system that worked much, much better. I mean, look, I'm Italian. I have no problem enjoying the fact that Germany lost and could well get relegated. But goodness me, they played really, really well away from home against the world champions. This is as good as Germany have played in a very, very long time against a top opponent when you consider that throughout qualifying they were playing a bunch of Muppet sides, and at the World Cup against decent teams they were terrible. So he's put that out there. He's shown the courage to go with younger players like Kehrer and Schultz. And I thought, and he brought Leroy Sané back in, and this is the performance you wanted.
He brings Leroy Sané back in, leaves him out, doesn't take him to the World Cup, brings him back when he's not playing, then leaves him out again, then he's the brunt of Toni Kroos at a press conference, then he's talked about attitude. He makes changes and he brings some younger players in because really his back's up against the wall, Gab, and quite frankly, I don't think the Germans are in a position where they say, well, we played better and we were unlucky against the world champions, because Germany, over the piece, have set much higher standards than, well, actually, we played okay, but we got beat.
Well, yeah, and it was Löw who set those very high standards for most of the past decade. Listen, I'm not suggesting that he's done a wonderful job over the past year, but the fact that he's come around to the fact that nobody's untouchable, that his veterans can be dropped if they're not performing, the fact that he can come up with a different system of playing, a different style of playing, and the fact that the team responded with a really, really good performance, I think is relevant. I don't think you go and you throw the baby out with the bathwater just because you look at the result at the end of 90 minutes and be like, oh, look, they lost again. It's 6 defeats in a year.
Gab, they were an absolute shambles at the World Cup, and it's taken them to what? The middle of October to work out that you might have to make some changes. It's taken them this long to work out that the guys that were a shambles in Russia may need to be left out now in the middle of October when they're already in a bit of a mini crisis by German standards.
Well, you know what, but Craig, I know that the reality is, I know Löw often doesn't look human because of his weird hair and his t-shirt, but he's a human being. These are the same people who delivered a World Cup, with whom he's had perhaps the most dominant team that we've seen over the last couple of years. Right? These are the veterans who look him in the eye, and I know you've been there, and I know you've had that. As you get older, your boss says, Craig, can you do a job for me? And they say yes. And then they go out after the World Cup. They go and they play France, and it's a draw, and they actually play reasonably well. They create chances, and it looks as if he's turned the corner. Then you have the Holland game where everything falls apart,
Right.
and now he goes and he makes the changes. I'm not going to go and throw Löw under the bus for that.